Dalon returns to his tent. And inside, there is something rather terrible. Jenny, the walrus, is lying here, and she's put on a few pounds.
How did she travel that fast?
You don't know. And she is lying here, covered in whale blubber, and she has a pipe. It's the exhaust from your cart, which is lying suggestively in her lap. And there are backing dancers in here. They're kind of dancing away, the little clicks. There's some sexy jazz music in the background, and Jenny says, "Honey, I'm home."
I gotta go talk to someone, and I'd leave.
You exit out, and the backing dancer's like, come back! But he's already gone. Dagon, where'd you go?
Anywhere. I'm like, I'm gonna, I have Molotovs. I'm gonna find some, start pouring them around the perimeter of the tent. And light the match.
Oh my god!
This is the only way it will end.
Yeah, wow.
He's just, nope. Very decisive face about it, like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. So you begin to go to your cart, which now has no exhaust on it, rather worryingly, and you go into the back of the cart. You grab out your Molotov cocktails, and then the sexy jazz is still playing from within, and Jenny's still inside with the exhaust to your cart. And you start kind of pouring out these Molotov cocktails around the tent, and you see Jeeves walking out of another tent, completely naked, other than a moss flower, and he kind of comes over and says, "It didn't seem to work too well."
I mean, hey, you've got to keep. I mean, okay, you got the wrong moss. Let's just start. But one second, then, I light the match and I throw it.
Yeah, and as some goes up around the kind of perimeter of this tent.
And then I put my arm around his shoulder, let's walk.
Nice. And you guys, you turn and walk as the tent catches fire behind you, and you hear Jenny screaming, "No! My love! Help! I'm burning up in here!" And all the backing dancers are like, "Help! Help! Save us! Somebody! Fire! Fire!" And you guys are walking away, and then there's this awesome moment where Dalon just takes one of the beer bottles and just tosses it over his shoulder into the tent, and there's a explosion that neither you nor Jeeves look at, as Jenny the Walrus is burnt alive alongside the backing dancers, and your tent goes up in flames, and then you and Jeeves both put on your shades as you walk out into the night. The next morning, of course, we find the terrible fire, and which is burnt out, and no one was able to save Jenny, and the others, and you kind of see in the morning, the rest of you, that the tent has been burnt down completely, and as the sun rises, it's a dark day in the Walrus campers. All the Walrus men with strange kinks and fetishes realize that Jenny is gone. She is just now a pile of blubber and fat, roasted but at
Ew.
the same time, delicious. And so, as is Walrus tradition, they go up to Jenny's blubbery corpse. They take handfuls of her blubber. And they just very carefully, very slowly, tears running down their faces as they do so, put the blubber into their mouths, eat some of it, and rub some of it onto their tusks as well. To remember Jenny. Not for the strange, weird, honestly quite demented person that she was by the end, but for the sweet, no kink shaming, loving, caressing, gentle, although brutal at times in the igloo, kind of walrus that Jenny really was. And 2,000 walruses are around the campfire as they're roasting Jenny's blubbery body on the fire. Tears running down their faces. A great sadness falls upon the camp. It's with heavy heart that Chief Backdo Longtooth, he takes the last piece of blubber which is on the fire. He raises it up and he says, "Jenny, you will be remembered forever." And as he says this, Jenny's ghost appears. The big blubbery Jenny that she once was floats down just like Chuck did previously. And she looks at Daylon. And she says, "I forgive you, my love."
Cool. Put the sunglasses back on and walk like the other way.
Honestly, I was expecting a little more, but I suppose the afterlife will be sad and lonely, without any company or love.
You got Chuck. Go fuck Chuck.
How much Chuck could a woodchuck fuck? If a woodchuck could fuck Chuck. And those are... Let's go ahead.
Trick question, no one would fuck Chuck.
I would! And as that happens, Jenny soars up into the sky to Walhalla, where she will join Chuck in the afterlife forever.
I'm just gonna put my arm around Daylon and say, "I fucking hate this place."
I'm gonna wipe one tear away and look over at him and just like show my bloodshot eyes and be like, "She was my first."
No, that's not true. I was there in the town.
I never got to Dwarfhilda. It never worked out like that.
Really? I thought you two were gonna be together forever.
No.
I kind of pat his shoulder and say, "It's all right. There will be other bulky women out there for you."
Chief Backdo says, "It's times like these that all Walrus folk come together. You're not alone, Daylon, even though you are totally responsible in every possible way. And we do blame you entirely. In many ways, we have a deep hatred for you now. But we appreciate that you do have some very good beer."
Thank you.
And thank you to Wicked Crow for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
By the way, I just looked at that list that's on the screen, and I forgot that it was for the underpants. And I'm like, what does that describe?
Wow. And so the Walrus army set off once again the next morning, hearts heavy, as they leave off to continue their adventures and meet the apeling folk.